One planet, one life, one love, one global wisdom tradition, into which all the great traditions flow like rivers into a sea. Namaste. I'm Richard Power. This is Spoken Words of Power, and I'm going to talk to you briefly about the goddess Tara, her 21 emanations, and her mantra. And if you hear some banging or sawing in the background, there's a construction site next door, so be it. It's the nature of the universe. So Tara. The Sanskrit Tara, in Tibetan Dharma, Tara, she who saves. That's what you want to come away with from the name of Tara, she who saves. And the symbolism of Tara is very rich. It's very rich. I'm not going to go into the details of that richness. You can Google Tara symbolism and you'll find many variations on what each symbol means. But I will draw your attention to three in particular that I think communicate a very important information about Tara and her power. So the first one is, if you see images of Tara, you will see her with a blossom in the crook of her arm. On one of her arms you'll see a blossom, a beautiful flower blossoming in the crook of one of her arms. That's Utpala, that's a blue lotus. It blossoms at night. It blossoms in the darkness. And the goddess of compassion, the green Tara, the goddess of healing, the white Tara, they come in the darkness. They go into the darkness. They change the nature of darkness. They do not sit comfortably in the light. They penetrate into the darkness of human ignorance. They penetrate into the darkness of physical fear and danger. That's where compassion blossoms. That's where healing blossoms. The second symbol related to Tara that I think is particularly useful relates to the green Tara in particular, and she is always depicted as, if you see her on a meditation pillow on a lotus typically, you'll see that one foot is always off the pillow and touching the lotus. She's always rising. She's rising from sitting meditation to go into action. She is rising as meditation in action, compassionate action. She is always in the movement of answering the call, answering the cry for help, coming to the aid of the suffering of sentient beings, coming to their aid as they call for some rescue or relief from their suffering. Green Tara is always rising from stillness into movement. And the white Tara, healing Tara. The white Tara is the goddess of healing. She is always depicted with 7 eyes, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 and 7 are on the soles of her feet. Ever watchful. Tara does not blink. Tara does not look away. Tara does not miss anything. Compassion does not miss anything. Healing does not miss anything. Healing does not refuse to see the scope, breadth, width, depth of suffering. Healing sees through it all. Compassion sees through it all, does not turn away. 7 eyes symbolizes the ever-watchful nature of Tara's power. So, as I said, there are 21 emanations touching on different aspects of sentient life in the universe. So there's a red Tara who is in the space of sexual love. There is a blue Tara, a fierce blue Tara. She's considered one of the 3 protectors of the Nyingma lineage. She is a warrior. She was a high goddess of the Bon. She is adorned with snakes and wears a tiger skin loincloth and rides a she-wolf. She is a fierce and wrathful protector. So 21 emanations. We're just going to touch on really the white and the green here in any depth. So the green Tara mantra, Om Tar Tatar Tori Soha, 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 Om Tar Tatar Tori Soha. You're just calling to Tara to answer the call of those in physical suffering, to answer the call of those in spiritual suffering, to remove the obstacles, to remove the causes of suffering, to save sentience from ignorance, and to bring it into a fuller understanding of itself. Om Tar Tatar Tori Soha, Om Tar Tatar Tori Soha, Om Tar Tatar Tori Soha. When I was a young man, and I carried with me the tragedies of childhood and early youth, and I felt haunted by these tragedies and felt in need of protection. This is back when I lived in New York before I moved to California. I came across Blofeld's book on Tara, and I felt a resonance with it, and I wrote the Tara mantra all around the door frames of my flat in Soho. Around every door frame I wrote Om Tar Tatar Tori Soha, Om Tar Tatar Tori Soha, Om Tar Tatar Tori Soha, as well as other Tara magic, but wrote the green Tara mantra all around my door frames, and it helped me. Later on, in my 30s, in a particular time of despair, I had been reading. I lived close to the ocean, and I had been reading the Psalms of David. And I read a particularly beautiful psalm in which David spoke of trials and tribulations, and he declared, "I am a pelican in the wilderness." I thought it was a beautiful phrase, "I'm a pelican in the wilderness." Great mystical significance, great mystical symbol, the pelican. So after that, I took a walk out on the beach and walked in the surf in my bare feet and was singing the Tara mantra, because for me the Tara mantra is very uplifting, very joy-bringing. And I was singing the Tara mantra, looking at the blue sky and contemplating this beautiful Psalm of David I had read about being a pelican in the wilderness. And then all of a sudden, this was shortly after I moved to California, all of a sudden I looked out over the water and I saw these birds, flock of birds, swooping and diving into the surf out beyond, out into the surf. And I realized there were pelicans, and that there were pelicans all up and down the coast. I had never seen them there before. It's of course a seasonal phenomenon, but it was my first encounter with it, so it was a moment of great power and great affirmation and a wave from the universe about the oneness of all life. Now when I look at the Tara mantra, or contemplate the Tara mantra, or practice the Tara mantra, I'm not calling for help. I am feeling as if I am consciously participating in the protecting of the planet. This Tara, the green Tara, is particularly important to us in this time of climate crisis and sustainability crisis and food security crisis. When I say the Tara, the green Tara mantra now, I'm consciously participating in the protection of the planet. And when I say the white Tara mantra, Om Tari Tutari Tur Mama Ayupanyanjana Pustam Kuru Svaha, I'm consciously participating in the healing of suffering, in the healing of financial suffering and physical suffering. Life is a oneness. A mantra is not only a way to call for help or to access power, it is a means with which to broadcast joy, with which to broadcast peace, with which to broadcast fearlessness. And that joy, that peace, that fearlessness, that is the antidote. That is the medicine for fear and ignorance and suffering and want and despair. The antidote is the joy, the peace, the inner fearlessness. Broadcasting that, the vibratory power of a mantra gives you an ability to broadcast that. And it doesn't take the place of physical action, but it supplements physical action. And physical action and prayer and meditation can echo each other and reverberate in each other and make a greater noise unto the one. So these are just a few ideas about Tara and a few experiences of my personal experience of my relationship with the goddess Tara in my personal journey. And if Tara resonates with you, you can Google her, and you can on YouTube search for her and find beautiful renditions of ways to chant her mantras, and it will be of help to you, and it will be of help to all around you because of how it will change your atmosphere, how you will change your atmosphere in your embrace of the goddess of love, the goddess of wisdom, the goddess of green power, the goddess of healing, the great protector goddess, the great healer goddess, the great medicine woman. Because really she is synonymous with Our Lady of Fatima, Our Lady of Guadalupe, White Buffalo Woman, Kwanzaa Bosai. It is all her. all emanations of the one great mother who wants only truth, only love, only joy, only courage, only prosperity for her creation. Knowing, of course, fully knowing that you can't have creation without opposites, and you can't have light without dark, and you can't have joy without sorrow. But nevertheless, we go into incarnation, we go into creation, we embrace it, and we live it from that place of an expression of oneness, an expression of uniqueness, which is both human and divine at once. Om tar tar tor soha, 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 om tar tar tor soha. Namaste.